Hey YouTubers! Out at the forge again today. Just working on a few things, a couple upgrades or finishing touches that I was supposed to be doing to my forge that I've been putting off. So now that I've created several pairs of tongs, I'm going to have to add a little handle spot or a bar across the side of the forge to hang my tongs on. And I never did extend the handle on the clinker breaker so that I could reach it from the front side of the forge. So I forged a couple pieces for that today that I'm gonna attach to the forge, and then I'm also working on another pair of these quick tongs that need to be finished off. Working on the scrolling tong today. Been working on drawing out this rein on this short scrolling tong. This is one of the rapid tongs, so it's a little bit smaller than the other ones. Went ahead and got this rein pretty squared off. It's kind of rectangular when you start. I'm gonna go ahead and draw out this end a little bit more and then round it off. And then I'll have to round off the nibs. Pretty simple, basically the same as rounding off the reins on this pair of tongs. It's already got an offset in it. I don't know if you can see that, but we're gonna go ahead and knock these out. These are going pretty fast. Getting a little warm out here at the forge today. It was kind of cool when I came out. I'm gonna have to take this sweater off. I just wanted to talk for a minute about this hammer. I don't know if you guys are asking yourselves, why is he using that hammer or whatnot. I have a couple different hammers here. I got a 1 pound hammer. This is a 2 pound ball peen hammer. Maybe not what you typically see a blacksmith using. I mean, it's got a plastic or synthetic type handle or whatnot. I just bought this off the shelf at Lowe's. I do have a 3 pound hammer with a cross peen on it. But one of the things that I've learned over time is that just because you can swing a heavier hammer doesn't mean that it makes sense to do so. It's not necessarily the weight of the hammer that accomplishes what you're trying to accomplish. So now that I've got a heavier anvil and a heavier stand and a bigger mass that I'm striking the steel on, this 2 pound hammer is working out really well for me. So occasionally I'll use the heavier hammer, but I found out that it's not necessarily the weight of the hammer that gets the job done. Okay, another rookie mistake maybe you can learn from, but I had this handle drawn out nice and got a little bit of length out of it. This is a pair of rapid tongs that's pretty short to begin with. But I found out when you're smithing, you should be smithing and not trying to make videos, because I just burnt off the end of this rein and now I'm back to the original length, but it's drawn out to pretty thin size already, so kind of screwed that one up. I'm sure it'll work, but it's not what I was intending to make. Hopefully you can learn from some of my mistakes. I've mentioned before that I'm pretty new at all this. I'm sharing just to be sharing. I want to kind of encourage people to try new things and see what you can do. And I love making things. So one of the things I want my channel to be and my videos to represent is honesty and straightforwardness. So when I screw up, I'm not going to edit it out of the videos. You guys are going to see the mistakes, and hopefully that can help somebody along the way. This second rein is already as long as the first rein, so I got an option. I could draw it out to make it the same thickness as the other rein, or I could just go ahead and round it off where it is. It's already matched up lengthwise. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and round it off in the interest of time. Rounding out these reins. If you watch videos on YouTube, you'll see people talk about that. You square it off first to draw material out. Square is the way to do it. And then after you get it where you want, you start taking off the corners and you go to an octagon, and then you continue to take off corners or points that you can see on the material as you turn it around. One of the things to keep in mind that you would think is common sense is that if you're creating a taper, then the flat spot that you create as you're taking off a corner has to get wider as you come up to the thicker part of the rein. So if you thought of it as in cross sections, then when you get up here, all 8 sides should be equal in width, and otherwise you're going to kind of end up with more of a boxy octagon, I don't know, an uneven round. It's going to be hard for you to get it exactly round if you don't pay attention to that as you go. So I've got those 2 pieces drawn out. I'm going to drill some holes on the drill press and put these scrolling tongs together and then line up the jaws. I wanted to tell you a little bit about putting out my forge. One thing I do is once I stop using the forge, I try to make sure that I never leave until it's out. But it usually goes out pretty quick. I've mentioned before that I'm no pro. I'm just learning this stuff as I go. And all I do is basically I try to regulate how much fuel I'm using and burning, because there's an expense to the coal. So by the time I'm finished, I usually have very little coal left in the fire pot anyway. So I just spread it out, rake the coal out to the sides of the fire pot or up onto the hearth, and turn off the fan, and within a couple minutes it pretty much goes out. So just as a note for safety, you know, make sure that your fire's out before you move on to the next thing. I just turned this off a minute ago and there was a flame and red hot coals. You can see I raked these coals up to the side here and just shut off the fan. The handle that I forged, see I put a couple of 90-degree bends on that. I'm just going to weld that right here to the edge of the forge and use that to hang stuff on, slip my tongs into. In addition to the tong project today, fix that up, and then here's a little handle I made for my clinker breaker. So this will get welded up under here to the clinker breaker that's under there, and then I'll be able to just I'll make a little support for it right here on the front edge, and I'll be able to turn that back and forth from here for my clinker breaker. So those were the 2 small improvements to the forge that we're knocking out today, in addition to that last pair of my quick tong bundle. Finishing up these couple of projects today. Here's my handle I added for my clinker breaker. You can see. Much better, I like that. And here's my little handle of bar that I added for my tongs. It's the first pair of tongs I ever made. First thing I ever forged, I think. So that's going to be it from the shop today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please hit the like button. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. We appreciate all the support and hope that something we're doing is inspiring or helps somebody in some way. Thanks again for watching. Namaste.